Let's learn how you can install the Azure specific modules on your device. This is required so that you can manage different kinds of resources on Azure. Like, let's say if you want to create a virtual machine or restart the virtual machine, probably add an additional disk to the virtual machine, or create a storage account, or create users in bulk in Azure Active Directory. For every little thing, you may need a PowerShell script. And that's one of the reasons you might want to install Azure specific PowerShell modules on your device. Although I have the Azure modules installed on my computer, and we saw that in the previous video that we ran get-module-list available, and Azure modules were there on my device. But you can install it on your computer by just running this command on the PowerShell interface, which is install-module, like get verb. It's just like verb-noun. Install is an activity that you want to do. And what do you want to install? A module. What kind of module? It is AZ, install-module, AZ. And now because this is gonna modify certain things in your system configuration, make sure that you launch it as an administrator. So launch PowerShell, and before you do that, just right click and run as administrator. Let's hit enter and see what happens. Okay, we got a message that you are installing the modules from an untrusted repository. Now this is on a GitHub repository. AZ is on a GitHub, that's why it says untrusted repository, which is okay. I will say yes and hit enter. This will take quite a lot of time because Azure is not the only module. There were specific modules. Like there's an Azure SQL module, Azure Active Directory module, Azure Storage, Azure Backup. So there are a lot of individual modules within Azure. So make sure that you got the right amount of bandwidth and time as well, and leave your computer for some time for it to install Azure module correctly. Although I have Azure modules installed, it is updating them to the latest version. I'll pause the video for now because I'm sure you don't want to see the progress bar here. It will install anyway, so I'll pause it and resume it once it is complete. Okay, I'm resuming this session because I've got an error here which says that the following commands are already available on this. So it detected that my computer has these commandlets, so why do I need it again? And one of the beauty of PowerShell is that these error messages are self-explanatory. It is not giving me complex error codes like 0x00CB something, right? It's simple, easy to understand, and tells me in English that these commands are already available. And look at this, it also tells me how to solve it. Use -allow clobber parameter if you want to install this module. So making my life simple, I do not have to do Google. The answer is right there. So root cause analysis of your problem is done by PowerShell. It gives you the error message and the solution right there. Sometimes you may get generic messages as well. So at times you may have to go and search on the internet what exactly it means. But most of the times I have seen with my experience that it just shows you the error message in easily understandable language, plus sometimes the solution as well. Okay, let's see what will happen now. I'll pause the video again, and if everything is successful, I'll let it go, or if I get an error, I'll pause it so we can solve it together. Okay, looks like the installation is complete. As you notice, the installation of Azure module from the internet is so easy. All we need is a device with internet access, and that's all. Run this command called install-module with AZ and then -allow clobber as a syntax. We can verify this by just typing login-azure the tab account, and you will see that all these syntaxes are available. So login-azure RM account will actually log me in to the Azure subscription. Gives me a pop-up, make sure that your IE is healthy. Usually it takes Internet Explorer as the default browser. So just type my user ID here and the credentials. Okay, so I have an Azure account already, so it shouldn't be a problem, and there you go. So I'm already logged into my Azure subscription, ready to run all the commands that it can accept. So if I just run get -az subscription, yeah, hit enter, it tells me about my subscriptions. I've got a message here, so it's a good idea to run this command instead of AZ subscription. Just run get-az Azure RM subscription, which will give me right information. So anyways, we got the Azure module installed on our device. In the next video, we'll learn how you can create and manage your resource group in PowerShell.